Hey everybody, Steve here in Palm Springs, California, sitting in my car, as I often do. But today the reason I'm in my car is because I want to show you something in my car. I want to show you my new porta potty and tell you why I got a porta potty for my car. Let me turn the camera around and show you. It's kind of dark in here. Hopefully it won't be too dark to see. So I was able to scoot the seat all the way up, which gives me quite a bit of room for this porta potty. Look at this. It's just a little plastic porta potty, but it's very, very sturdy. And it opens up here. Looks like a little toilet, doesn't it? And got my toilet paper in case of an emergency, and there's also some plastic bags that it comes with. It didn't come with the toilet paper, but it did come with the black plastic bags, sort of like, I guess, doggy do bags for people. So it fits there, and I actually tried it to see, I mean, I didn't try it, but I tried it just to see if I could sit on it and if it would hold me, and it definitely did, and it fits really well. And I guess, you know, if I'm out in the middle of somewhere and I have to go, then I can put my little shades. I've got my shades here I can put on the windows for a little privacy, and I should be good to go, so to speak. So the reason I got this porta potty is kind of a weird story, kind of an embarrassing story. And you know what? It's so bright out, I'm going to put on my sunglasses. I hope you don't mind. It's really sunny today. And so a couple of things happened. Recently, I started visiting cemeteries again, started driving up to LA and Hollywood and various places, and I'm planning to take some more day trips, maybe down to San Diego. And I got to thinking about my new diet, and I thought, well, this could be a problem. I've always drank a lot of water. I've always drank a lot of liquids on my day trips, but I've always had like a little pee jar. Now, I hope this is not too graphic for you guys. If it is, you may want to, if this kind of stuff bothers you, you may want to skip this video, but I have a little pee jar, and because you never know where you're going to be and when you're going to need to go, and so I just have a jar that I can pee in while I'm on these road trips, these day trips. I'm usually by myself, so it just makes it really easy. And quite often I've been places where there just are no bathrooms anywhere and nowhere to go, and so it's just real nice and convenient to have that. And I know they even have them that they make that you can buy, professional ones, on Amazon, but I just use old plastic, mayonnaise jars, things like that, and they work just fine. And so I've been doing that for, gosh, years, because if you've watched my other channel, my graveyard channel, I travel all over. And a couple of years ago, I took a trip back to the East Coast for 6 weeks. And so I've done a lot of driving over the years for my other channel. This channel, not so much. I usually just drive. I'm here in town. And so it's not something I need to think about or worry about. And there's usually bathrooms around if you need one. But I recently took a trip up to Hollywood and LA for the day. And before I did that, I got to thinking about my new diet. So since I had my heart procedure and the 3 stents in my heart, I changed my diet kind of dramatically. Well, I shouldn't say dramatically, but I changed it a lot. And now not only do I drink a lot because of my kidney stones, water, and the older that you get, you want to stay hydrated. So I drink a lot of liquids for that. And I always drink a lot on my trips. I would always take some Gatorade or Powerade with me, and I would drink at least 1 or 2 of those and tons of water. So I always had to pee a lot, but I never had to worry about anything other than that. But lately, now maybe that I'm older, and now I'm eating almost completely vegetarian most of the time, I am so regular. I think maybe the combination of my new diet where I eat beans and broccoli and vegetables all day long, in addition to my salads. So I am really, really regular, which is fine because I'm a homebody. I'm here at the house most of the time. And so I'm so regular. I go 2 or 3 or 4 times a day, every single day, which is great. I think it's probably good health-wise. But when you're out on the road, that's not a good thing. And so I thought, well, what if, a lot of my trips, I get up really early in the morning and I take off and I get to the cemeteries or wherever I'm going long before anything opens. But there are no stores open, gas stations often aren't open. I mean, usually if I'm leaving Palm Springs and driving to San Diego or San Francisco or LA or whatever, Hollywood, I'm leaving at 4 o'clock in the morning, 4 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And so it just dawned on me. I thought, gosh, what happens if I have to go and there are no bathrooms around? And what am I going to do? And then I remembered, I don't know why, but I remembered that, I don't know if you guys do this, but I watch a lot of RVers and van lifers, people who live in their cars, live in their vans, live in their RVs, and a lot of them have these porta potties, different types. And so it occurred to me, I thought, well, what if I could get, especially because recently I've been watching quite a few people who are living in their cars. Some people just use a bucket or something. I thought, well, I wonder if they have something like they do on Amazon, for peeing on the road while you're driving. I thought, I wonder if they have like little portable potties for your car. And so I looked on Amazon, and sure enough, they do. And not only did they have them, but I found one for $25, and it looked like it was very popular and got good reviews. And so I thought, for $25, I can't beat that price. So I ordered one. It came a couple days later in a tiny little box. It folds up into this box. You unfold it into what I just showed you, and it's fantastic. It fits right here in the back seat of the car. I guess they're also made for campers. A lot of times people will go out and camp in their tents, or maybe they're just out hiking or whatever, and you come back to your car and maybe you need one. So, and you're out where there are no bathrooms, any restrooms. I wish I had one of these back when I think I was around 29 years old, maybe 30 years old. I went back to Washington, D.C. with a friend of mine. We flew back and we spent, I forget how long we were there, about a weekend in D.C., and we rented a car. We were staying in Arlington, Virginia, which is just right across the river from Washington, D.C. And one morning we went to breakfast in Georgetown, and we had crepes, and it was a fantastic breakfast. That's when I was still drinking lots of coffee. So I was drinking coffee, I had these crepes, and I guess we sightseed around DC for a little while after we had our breakfast, and then we were going to head back to the hotel where we were staying in Arlington, which was probably only 5 miles away, maybe 10 miles from DC, from Georgetown. And all of a sudden, if you've ever had diarrhea, you know that feeling, especially if it's to the point where you just cannot hold it anymore. We were in the rental car. I do remember I had jeans on, long jeans, and I just told my friend, I said, I'm not going to make it back to the hotel. I just can't make it. And we were driving through DC. I think we were going over the bridge, and there was nothing nearby where we could stop. And I said, I can't wait. I actually have to go right now, and I don't want to go right here in the car. I was getting ready to just have explosive diarrhea. I'm sorry, but it was awful. The worst diarrhea I've ever had. I said, you just have to pull over. And fortunately, there was a park, and he pulled over on the curb. I dashed out behind a bush, and right there in public. Luckily, I don't think there were too many people walking around, but it was like the most embarrassing experience in my entire life. And I had no toilet paper, nothing. I mean, it was just awful. I was crouched down behind some bushes in a public park, just right off of a busy street in Washington, D.C. It was just awful. But there was nothing I could do about it. It was either that or just right in my pants. And luckily, I was able to get my pants down just in time. And luckily, I didn't get a ticket or anything. There were no cops around. And but I didn't have any toilet paper. I maybe used some leaves or whatever. But, my poor friend, when I got back into the car, I won't even go into any more details. It was just awful for me and for him. So embarrassing, but also just disgusting, and it definitely ruined our day, that's for sure. It definitely ruined his day, even more than mine. And it would have been so nice if we would have had one of these little porta potties. I don't think they made them back then. This was back in the late 1970s, early 1980s. I mean, I was young, so I've had a couple of times like that. I don't know if any of you guys have had that where you're just out doing things, you go out to eat or whatever, and then you just get diarrhea, and there's like no controlling it. It's happened to me 3 or 4 times in my life where it's just completely uncontrollable. That really was the worst. I just barely made it out of the car. But there have been a couple of other times. In fact, just recently when we went up to San Francisco, I had an incident very similar to this, and that was awful. And a couple of other times, it seems like it's always when you're out with friends, after you eat, and there's never a restroom around when you need one. I guess the reason that happens when you're out is because if you're at home, then it's not an issue. You're at home, so you've got a bathroom. I'm pretty much a vegetarian, and I mostly just eat vegetables all day long. Some other things, but everything I eat is just lots of fiber, and it just goes right through you. And since I drink tons and tons of liquids because of my kidney stones, and just being old and knowing that you're supposed to drink a lot so you don't get dehydrated and pass out, which happens a lot when you're older. So it's just the combination is not a good combination if you're traveling. So I'm so glad I have this porta potty. I hope I never have to use it. And, Murphy's Law, if you have it, you probably never need to use it. But if you don't, then of course you're going to need it. So I think this will come in handy if I ever need it. I'm glad I have it now. And I'm curious, do any of you guys have one? Do you keep one in your car? So I'm just going to keep this here forever. And again, like I say, hopefully I'll never have to use it. But I'm curious if you have one, if you've had to use it. Have you had any really embarrassing experiences like that you want to share with us? If so, please feel free. I'm very open. I share pretty much everything. I mean, it is still embarrassing and kind of gross, and I know it's, that kind of stuff grosses a lot of people out, but hey, it's nature. I'm pretty sure everyone's had diarrhea at some point in your life. Hopefully none of you have had diarrhea on the side of the road, in a busy city, in a public park. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. But at least now, if that ever happens, I got toilet paper with me. I never kept toilet paper in the car. And, well, we were in a rental car back then, and it never even occurred to me that, that was the first time that had ever happened to me. So now I've had quite a bit of experience with it, so I decided to be prepared for the future, just in case. So anyway, that's why I have a porta potty in my car now, and we'll probably keep one here at all times. And I guess I'll let you know if I ever have to use it. Hopefully I won't. Like I say, fingers crossed. Anyway, thanks for sharing, everybody, and I'll see you all in the next video.